were like discolored.
Two, three, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, 3, test. A very good morning to you all. My name is Jan-Erik Frank, coming to you, of course, from the home of champions, Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 3. And a very good morning on this Easter Saturday. Perfect conditions for the excuse me, the National President's Cup 2019 8-goal. We have two very, very strong teams out on the field this morning. Aspen Valley Polo Club playing in the light blue shirts versus Palm City Polo Club in the yellow shirts. And we've got some pretty big names here this morning, I should say. We've got Dean Goldstein playing with Melissa and Mark Ganzi on the same team. Not very often you see those two playing together. And of course, they've got Juan Bellini playing the number 4 position. And then we have also a very strong team for Palm City with Esteban Hernandez, Oliver Finstone, and then Chris Campson, a W Peller, of course. And we have a young man all the way from Berlin, Germany, Moritz Gedeke. Delighted to have him with us here this morning. Let's have a little look. The players. Oh, I thought we were going to have a presentation, but I've just told you the names, so strap yourselves in. We're about to start the first of our 6 chukkers of the National President's Cup 2019. Firestone. What did I call him? Yeah, Firestone. Yeah, sorry. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Players about to line up on the far side. I'd like to welcome you, of course, if you're watching on ChukkerTV, either here in Wellington or, of course, around the world. And our 2 umpires this morning, both from the same Hawaiian island, Kimo and Kaina. And our 3rd man, Hamish, taking the position here as 3rd man on the sidelines. And as you can see, the ball's been thrown into play very quickly. And that is young Oliver Firestone getting a very good touch on that first ball. Bellini will pick it up for Aspen Valley Polo Club and turn things around. He'll be looking to send it out to his right-hand side. Melissa Ganzi at the front door there, but Bellini, oh, he couldn't control that again. Oliver Firestone will pick this one up. He might run away with this one. Nearly got the touch he wanted, but hovering behind, wanting to get possession back for his team, Aspen Valley Polo Club. Juan Bellini just having a little waltz through the center of the field there. Both of these teams yet, I think, to properly get their engines running, of course. A lot at stake here, wanting to get their hands on the beautiful trophy and be the winners of the National 8-goal President's Cup 2019. And as I say, coming from the home of champions, Grand Champions Polo Club. This is where they're born, bred and raised, of course. And it's great to see also our friend from Berlin, Moritz Gedeke, who's been in Wellington now for the last 2 or 3 weeks, having a great time. Spoke to him earlier in the week. And I'm sure he will want to make his mark on this field on this beautiful day. And again, a cut shot here, taking the ball around the outside. A nice little run. And that, of course, is none other than the Cobra. And the Cobra will send this one over the sideboards. So there'll be a hit from the spot, a so-called penalty, 5A. Good morning, Mark. So the Cobra not wasting any time, revving up that engine. So we hit from the spot. And Esteban Hernandez, he will take it. Players called. There's the pass straight as a cucumber all the way, looking for Oliver Firestone. Left behind now for Moritz Gedeke. Gedeke would have liked to have done a bit more than that. He gets another chance with a shot on goal, and that might actually be goal number 1. Indeed it is. Cracking little goal there from the young man from Berlin. Moritz Gedeke getting the first score up on the score sheet in this, the first chukker. Moritz Gedeke, of course, and his family for many, many years in Berlin on the legendary Maifeld. Of course, the Maifeld is where polo was last played back in 1936. It still is an Olympic discipline, just an inactive one. It is still part of the Olympic Committee, and there is an international committee at work trying to resurrect polo as an active Olympic discipline. So it's great to have him here with us this morning. And as I say, for many, many years now, the Gedekes in Berlin hosting the German national high goal on the legendary Maifeld. You might remember back in 1936, Argentina winning that, of course, the gold medal, winning 11-0 against England. Mexico came in 3rd, and even the Germans had a team in that year coming 5th. So a lot of history, of course, in Germany when it comes to polo. Many polo clubs all over the place. So great to have this young man playing off 3 goals, having also played for the German national team on many occasions here in Wellington at Grand Champions Polo Club. Let's go back to the game, and we see in the corner Juan Bellini. He's now also very much playing the game that we know from him, the 5-goaler. Juan Bellini, recently also an American citizen, very much at home here, and still a very, very powerful and talented player. Now, that's a nice little pass up to the halfway line, and watch that pony from Ganzi. Melissa Ganzi this time. She will pass it up to the front. Mark couldn't quite pick that one up, but it was a nice pass that came from Melissa. So Palm City Polo Club get the advantage. Nice little turn there through the centre. Plenty of space. And that is head German, Moritz Giedicke, with a nice little pass up to Oliver Firestone. But he's got a man on, Bellini. And he will take the man first, of course, as he turns things around. Now then, he's going to look for an attacking player. It's a nice little pass up to the front door. Melissa Ganzi will take this. Good first touch from her. This could be a clear run and could be the equaliser for Aspen Valley Polo Club. Just the finishing touches now. And Melissa Ganzi, ladies and gentlemen, the crowd loving that one. Melissa Ganzi getting her first goal of the match. And that puts them level at 1 apiece. With 2:45 left on the clock, we're in chukker number 1. Now, of course, if you are watching on ChukkerTV, always delighted to answer any questions and give us any feedback, any comments. Please do drop us a note, drop us a line. And if you're in the area, still plenty of time to play, come and join us here. Ground Field number 3, Grand Champions Polo Club here in southern Florida. As they come back to the center. Quick pony change there on the far side. I think Mark Ganzi deciding he needed a fresh set of legs. Comes back onto the field. Of course, Mark Ganzi, having played a very, very tough and a very good season here, being in the final of the WPL twice with his team Audi. Great to see him out there on the field here this morning. Ball's back in play. Bellini will pick this one up, takes the pace out a little bit. There's the cut shot. He could see that Ganzi was completely left to his own devices. As he will pick this one up. He's got a man on. I think that's Moritz Giedicke coming in for the challenge. He'll just hold back. Bellini will take this one. And Bellini will drill one again across the field. Looking for that young lady who scored just a few moments ago, Melissa Ganzi. It's a perfect pass, and she will be thankful. She'll pick this one up, slightly overcut it, but ever so slightly just, as that ball gets sent back to the front door. This time coming from Campson. Ganzi, this one just going over the back line, running out of, as they call it, real estate around these parts, running out of polo field. So with a minute left to play, both teams now, I think, very much on form here. As the team in yellow, Palm City Polo Club, with a powerful hit in from their own back line. That's a good pass up over the halfway line. This time it'll be sent back, or a cut shot. Look at that, taking it into the open space. The Cobra. And that's what he loves to do. He loves to find the open space. Slightly top that one, has to put the brakes on. In comes Giedicke, Moritz Giedicke. He will take the pace out a little bit as well. Has a little look who he can play it to. He's got a man on his left. Well, there's the siren, ladies and gentlemen. Another little under the neck. Little back shot there from Matt Ganzi, feeding the ball nicely into Juan Bellini. And Bellini will try and send it up to the front door. And that's a good pick up. Couldn't quite control it. Bellini, he might have a shot on goal if he can just get to it. Well, he's appealing, and there was a clear right-of-way infringement, and that will be the end of chukker number 1. We'll be back with chukker number 2 in just a few moments.
Okay, we're going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
tell me when. Welcome back, everybody. Quick pony change. As you can see, Aspen Valley Polo Club coming out very quickly after that first chukker. A little bit of sizing up the opposition, and we had a great goal coming in. The first one from Moritz Gedeke, the young man from Berlin. And then Melissa Ganzi had a great little run, taking the ball all the way up the field, and that put them level at 1 apiece at the end of chukker number 1. And we just need to correct ourselves. We had the names of the players slightly mixed up. We were under the impression that Chris Campson was playing the number 4 position. Normally it's where you would find Mr. Campson. He's actually playing the number 1 position. Esteban Hernandez, he's the man with the number 4 on the back of his shirt. Aspen Valley Polo Club, as I mentioned earlier on. Jean Goldstein taking the number 1 position. Melissa Ganzi at 2. Mark at number 3, and he's had a cracking first chukker. And Juan Bellini at 4. Now you can see over on the left-hand side, teams just lining up. We had a whistle just before the end of that first chukker. And of course, play will resume where that foul was committed. Down the left-hand side, the north side of the field. Remember, Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 3 is a very much a north-south situation. To the south, of course, down to Miami, and to the north towards Orlando. And I can see slowly but surely now, grandstands filling up quite nicely. A great turnout, as was to be expected here at Grand Champions Polo Club on this Easter Saturday. And where else would you like to be than here in the sunny southern Florida? Grand Champions Polo Club to watch. And I hope you're enjoying watching it on ChukkerTV, the National President's Cup 2019. 8 goal, of course, the level here this morning. Coming up to 10 past 11 local time. And as I say, we're going to continue play where that whistle came just before the end of that first chukker, when the players left the field with 1 apiece. And if I have a little look to my left, a beautiful trophy being presented there on the presentation table. Some very, very nice silverware, which the players will be receiving a little bit later on. We will, of course, also be honouring the Grand Champions. Good morning, the Grand Champions, Best Playing Pony, and the American Polo Horse Association. So here we go then. Oh, there was a goal. And Melissa Ganzi, ladies and gentlemen, getting off to a cracking start here in chukker number 2. Her second of the game. She'll be delighted with that. So 2 goals to 1 for the team in blue, Aspen Valley Polo Club. And once again, all girl power here, brought to you by Melissa Ganzi. Coming out of a penalty 2 situation there, and that was the infringement, the right of way that we saw very clearly at the end of the first chukker. And Bellini, not wasting any time, sending another ball deep down the field. Of course, they change ends after every goal, and that's a nice little drive. Maybe back to feed the ball to Ganzi, a little cut shot, and a little Remington, as we like to call it in the trade. A very close shave there, just going out on the right-hand side of that right goal post. So Aspen Valley Polo Club getting stronger and stronger, got their rhythm going. So Palm City once again, well, not once again, for the first time now, they are chasing that 1-goal deficit. Remember, Moritz Gedeke scoring the first goal of the afternoon. This time it'll be Oliver Firestone. Good first touch from him as he centres the ball. Nice little pick-up on the near side. Ball just stays in play. Bellini and Gedeke, they're having a little melee with each other. On the near side, nicely turned around by Bellini. He will leave it behind for the Cobra, and he will just tap the ball just ever so gently over the halfway line, teeing it up nicely, and a superb lofted drive up to Melissa Ganzi, who will be looking for her 3rd goal of the game, and that's a nice little turnaround as she takes that ball and centres it in front or to the goal mouth. Left behind. Here now comes, I think that's Jean Goldstein. Jean Goldstein getting his first of the morning. I keep saying afternoon of the morning. Jean Goldstein, he'll be happy with that as well. So all of a sudden, a 2-goal little cushion being built up here by Aspen Valley Polo Club. 3 goals to 1. We're in chukker number 2 with a little over 5 minutes to play in said second chukker. Back to the centre they go. They line up. And ball's about to be thrown into play. Bit of a high one this time, coming out to the side. Bellini will be there first, and he will pick it up, and he will try and send it as far down the field into Palm City Polo Club territory as he possibly can. Little backhander, nicely taken by Oliver Firestone. Bellini coming in. There's a challenge on that play. The umpires are saying play on, and now maybe a chance for Palm City to break away. And they need a little bit of a break here. Bellini will send it back. Looking for the Cobra, and he will stop that ball. He's got a man to his left-hand side he could play it to. Nice bit of defensive play there coming in again from Chris Campson. Haven't seen that much of him yet in this game. He's on the ball as we speak. Now, Campson, of course, a very, very powerful hitter. Campson gets the ball over the halfway line. He's got a man on. Goldstein there just trying to make life difficult. Campson stopped in his tracks. He's got the space. He will turn it around. Still Campson. Giedicke now just tucks in behind, and there's one of those drives that only Chris Campson can do. It's a solid drive just going out to the left-hand side. So Palm City Polo Club also now getting their rhythm going, getting stronger and stronger. This time, ball just going over the back line. So Aspen Valley will have possession once again. Let's look at the clock. 3:45 left to play in chukker number 2. And Bellini will get things underway with a hit in from his own back line. Melissa Gansey completely on her own, and I think that was the intention there of Bellini, to send that one to Melissa. It's going to be a little bit short. She had to slam on the brakes to get the ball on her stick side. A good pickup from Gansey. Another solid drive. Takes the ball over the halfway line. Gansey looking possibly to send the ball to Mark, and it's on his stick side now. Then the Cobra. He will love this. He tried to put a little bit of a bend on that. And that's a great little team effort there from Gansey and Gansey. She saw that Mark was out on the right-hand side. He had his stick side completely open. Good play there once again from Melissa Gansey, who of course already has 2 great goals to her name, having scored 1 in the first and now also 1 in chukker number 2. And all of a sudden this game is starting to get really, really quite lively and open. Nice little backhander there. Nothing much Firestone could have done on that play. Giedicke, he'll get to it first. Has a little look over his shoulder. He knows he's got a man on. Now he's got Melissa coming in for the challenge as well. He cuts back in. Good play from Gansey. And there's Campson completely on his own. Bellini saw the danger, came back. Campson not happy with that at all. Well, there was no whistle. So Bellini got away with that one. He turns on a little dime. And he will drill one back over the halfway line. Campson now will try and intercept it. The Cobra just waiting back. And that must be quite unusual. Normally, Campson and Mark Gansey, of course, having played together all season for Team Audi in the WPL, and today playing against each other. Solid little backhander there once again from Bellini. Nice little hook. Esteban Hernandez just putting his mallet in the way. And maybe a chance here if he can break through. Yes, he can. This is a good run here from Chris Campson. Campson leaves it behind. There's Moritz Giedicke. Beg your pardon. I thought that was Moritz Giedicke. Oliver Firestone trying to do something with it. And that ball just goes over the back line with 1.5 minutes to play in chukker number 2. Bellini. He's got Gansey to his right, and he's got Gansey to his left. Nicely picked up there on the far side, and all of a sudden it looks like we have a day at the races as Goldstein on the approach now needs to center it. That's a good solid run from him. Can he finish it? Just the putter, that's all that's needed. Oh, what a cracking goal, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking goal coming in there. His second of the morning, Gene Goldstein getting goal number 2. And that puts them now in a very comfortable position, leading by 4-1. So Palm City Polo Club are going to have to do a little bit of regrouping in the next break, which is just a few seconds away. Will they even make it before the ball gets thrown in again? Until we hear the siren. I think it's about to come. There it is. Let's give them a little round of applause as they leave the field. 4-1 in favor of Aspen Valley Polo Club. We'll be right back with chukker number 3 in a few moments.
The club is absolutely fabulous. If you're a golfer, The greens, the bunkers, the fairways are in fabulous condition. If you've not played this course before, you need to play the course. And if you did play before, you'll be amazed by the difference in the quality of this course. The people here are friendly, the staff is excellent, the course is in great condition, and it's a lot of fun to be here.
We bought it 2.5 years ago, had a 3-year project to totally renovate the course, which we completed in 19 months. We've now got 2 restaurants, championship course. It's immaculate, pristine. Everybody will see as they play today, and we're looking forward to a great day.
They've turned it around, and it's unbelievable what they've done to it in just a couple of years. They've restored it to what is really a gem in Wellington. It's an absolutely tremendous golf course. It's in great condition.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you with us on this beautiful Saturday morning here, coming to you live from Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 3. And it was a goalless chukker for Palm City Polo Club in chukker number 2. Gene Goldstein for Aspen Valley Polo Club scoring 1, as did Melissa Gansey. So before they go into the halftime break, which of course is still 1 chukker away, the team in the light blue shirts, Aspen Valley Polo Club, built themselves a nice little cushion there of 3 goals, leading by 4 goals to 1 as they come back now for chukker number 3. And let's hope that Palm City Polo Club can put a bit of a dent into the run that at the moment Aspen Valley Polo Club are having. Still plenty of time, of course, in this game to play. So I'm pretty sure that Palm City, the team in yellow, of course, with Chris Campson playing the number 1 position, Oliver Firestone, who's had a good opening 2 chukkers, yet to score. Esteban Hernandez at number 4, and of course the young man from Berlin. There we go. The clock is set. Ready to start chukker number 3. Here we go, ball's back in play. Again, a nice little long reach there from Firestone, trying to pick it up. Gaedeke got a piece of it. Now then, Campson. Can he turn things around here? Didn't see very much of him in the first chukker, but he got stronger and stronger in chukker number 2. Bellini sends it back with an open backhand, with the intention there to feed that ball back to Melissa Gansey, as I say, already having scored 2. And around the outside, he goes. A little pass intended there from Campson, and now the Cobra. Now the Cobra, he loves these sort of plays. He gets the ball fed to him, and he will love running away with it. Again, has to slam on the brakes a little bit. Gansey, the Cobra. Campson will just keep the ball in play, turns it around, turns on a sixpence. Or as they say around these parts, turns on a dime. Now he's got plenty of players to choose from. There's the drive, looking for Firestone. He's got Esteban Hernandez also over the halfway line, but Bellini will shut that one down. Goldstein, he might have a chance and a run away with this one. Goldstein, he's got Melissa Gansey with him. That's another good pass on the approach here from Goldstein, looking now for his 3rd of the game. And what a cracking goal from Gene Goldstein. Goal number 3 for Aspen Valley Polo Club. So now they're starting to run away with it. 5 goals to 1 early on in the 3rd chukker, with 6 minutes left to play in chukker number 3. As they line up, ball's about to be thrown back into play. But remember, as I said, we have 2 very, very experienced and talented umpires, Kimo and Kaina from Hawaii. Our third man, Hamish, sitting here on the sidelines, making sure that should the the mounted umpires be in dispute over a play, they can consult the third man. And once again, a chance here with a shot on goal. And that one goes through, no mistake. We didn't see that one coming. That looked to me like that could have been the man from Germany. Let me just see on the back of his shirt. Yes, indeed. Moritz Gedeke, ladies and gentlemen, getting his second of the morning. And let's hope this is a sign of things to come here in the in the final chukker of the first half. Remember, we're playing 6 chukkers, and we have a little break at the end of chukker number 3, when we very much would like to see you out on the field, of course, treading in those divots. Much appreciated, of course, by the players. And all of a sudden here, Palm City, having won that throw-in, Kamsen has to give way there to Ganzi. Didn't want to cross the line. Of course, that is the cardinal sin in polo. You must make sure that you know where the traffic is coming from and you do not cross that line, that so-called right-of-way or the line of the ball. And that's, of course, where the umpires are very important to see whether or not, and if they deem that a dangerous play. That's a solid ball up to the front door. Esteban Hernandez, he could claw one back here now. Surely he won't miss from there, and he makes it look so easy. Lovely goal there, the first of the morning for Esteban Hernandez. And all of a sudden, Palm City Polo Club right back in this game. Of course, a lot at stake here. They want to get their hands on the President's Cup, a beautiful trophy. And I'd like to very much welcome, of course, from the Polo Museum and Hall of Fame, the wonderful Brenda Dupont, who will be presenting those trophies and those prizes a little bit later on. Back to the centre they go. 3.5 minutes left to play in chukker number 3. And all of a sudden, just 2 goals in it. And again, they've done well. This time it's the turn of Oliver Firestone. He might have a run at this. Firestone, he gets the way cleared there. He had Esteban Hernandez trying to take out that attacking player from Aspen Valley Polo Club to allow a chance and a run on goal. But Bellini, he put his oar into it. He's got Melissa alongside the sideboards there. Will that ball reach her? It's a little bit short. A little open backhand from Kamsen. Ganzi, he got a touch of it. Bellini tries to control it. Still Bellini, and a chance maybe now for the Yellows Palm City Polo Club with Kamsen. Turns it on the inside. He's got Moritz Gedeke in front, going out to the left. Now Kamsen can drill a ball. An easy 100+ yards if he wants to. Has a second chance. And there's the drive. And that's a good little play to Esteban Hernandez. He could have, and I'm sure would have liked to have done more with that. It was a great pass coming in from Chris Kamsen. It was a goal. I didn't even see that. My Lord, what a cracking goal. Thank you, Esteban. I thought so. Esteban Hernandez getting his second of the morning. And that puts them within 1 goal of Aspen Valley Polo Club. So a little less than 2 minutes left to play on the clock before we go into the halftime break. And maybe now he had a run earlier on going the other way. A chance possibly here for Oliver Firestone to get the equaliser. And what an equaliser it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. With 1 minute and 40 left to play, 5 apiece on the scoreboard, and the first goal for Oliver Firestone. What a cracking goal it was, and that's how quickly it can happen once you have possession of the throw-in. And he just ran away with it. 2 little touches is all it took. And he sent that one all the way to Orlando. I think that ball is still flying as they come back to the centre with 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock in chukker number 3. Kamsen. And all of a sudden, Palm City winning every single throw in here. Kamsen appealing there. Somebody riding in or under his swing. And that, of course, is a no-no in polo. So I'm pretty sure the umpires will award a hit from the spot. A so-called penalty 5A, and there's really only one man at Palm City Polo Club here this morning who can take that, and that is Mr. Kamsen. Mr. Kamsen drills one. He's got 2 to choose from. Gedeke and Firestone, and at the front, of course, Esteban Hernandez, possibly waiting for a pass. Bellini coming in, and he will steal it deep in his own half. He's got a man out on his left-hand side, Ganzi, but he's also got Gene Goldstein to his right. And all of a sudden, it's 2-on-1. Now then, Campson, the last man in defence. He will pick this one up, topped it slightly. Gets possession. Oh, a bit of a mistake. And the Cobra will try and drill one, a long-distance shot. And that just goes wide. And if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, that siren indicating, of course, that'll be the end of the first half. Let's have a round of applause for both teams as they leave the field. 5 apiece. We'll be back in just a few moments. Thank you very much. We'll be back in just a few moments with the second half of this National President's Cup 8-Goal 2019.
The first time that I came to Mandarina, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that within just one site alone, we've got lush tropical jungle, high mountain ranges, an estuary, the flatland area, a lagoon, and then of course we have mile-long stretch of private beach. We chose Mandarina in the Riviera Nayarit because of all of the unique ecosystems that are on this property. We've got over 640 acres, and within that, we're only developing out 110 home sites. One home per every 2.5 acres. We feel very honored and privileged to have brought together 2 flagship hotels like One and Only and Rosewood, which are both categorized and known to be setting the standard for high-end luxury.
As One and Only, we're creating the private home project in a very, very sensitive way. Our approach to that is very, very nice villa, oversized suites, but as well, a lot of activities for the entire family.
These go from a kids club that's in the middle of a jungle where there's going to be hanging bridges and tree houses and a butterfly sanctuary. And then as you move down into the flatlands, that's where we have our equestrian center.
The architecture there is really reminiscent of the Mexican haciendas in a 21st century interpretation.
The person that is going to build out the polo fields is Alejandro Batros. There's nobody that is as qualified in the world as much as he is. By having a polo and equestrian club, there's a lot of other activities that surround that. You can get on a horse, go with your family, and go explore Mandarina.
Nature is very powerful when you connect with it. You know, the peace that comes with it, the connection of your soul with the natural environment. And we wanted to offer that. We made a lot of emphasis that we wanted the architect to reflect how the light crosses the canopy on the jungle. The way the rooms are positioned and the way they have certain openings, windows on the sides, in front, in the back, on top, on the roofs, are thought out to really play with this natural sunlight. It was really keeping ourselves true to that experience of nature, of untouchedness. And you can give that with the 5 stars, then you have Mandarina.
Oh, welcome back, everybody, and thank you so much for turning in those divots. Field looks immaculate. And what a cracking first half we've had. Aspen Valley Polo Club at one point leading by 4-1, and then Palm City coming back very, very strong with a couple of very nice goals there from Esteban Hernandez in chukker number 2. Also, Oliver Firestone getting his first of the morning, and Moritz Giedeker, who had already scored one in the first chukker, also putting his mark on the game in the first half with a second goal in chukker number 3. And that is how they left the field at half-time, 5 apiece. So 3 more chukkers to play to see who's going to get their hands on that beautiful trophy. the President's Cup 2019. Play, of course, will resume where play ended at the end of chukker number 3. And that would appear and look like a hit in, if I'm not mistaken, in favour of Palm City, who had a bit of a shaky start at the beginning. Took him a couple of chukkers really to get things going. Also Chris Campson. And I think he's going to be the man to get things underway. Here we go then. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we do, of course, have one young lady player out on the field. And that's a nice, solid pass all the way to the halfway line. And it's going to be taken by Esteban Hernandez. Slightly topped it. Ganzi, he will turn things around. Bellini's up there with him, but Ganzi will take this one himself. And there's the pass. That's a nice little pass, looking for and finding Gene Goldstein. He's already got his hat-trick in this game, looking possibly for goal number 4. Campson, he will clear it, playing it into the open space. Round the outside he goes. Now he's got a man at the front door, Esteban Hernandez, who's just waiting for that ball to drop right on his stick side. Ganzi will turn it again. Great control from Mark Ganzi. And Ganzi will try and run this one himself. Just holding back, but going up there with him in defence. Moritz Giedicke having a little appeal, but there was no danger. He comes down with a hook, and he did well, stealing the ball. And Giedicke now will try and run with this one. That was very good play from the young German, sending the ball back towards the halfway line. Not quite the perfect pass he was hoping for, as once again it's sent back by Gene Goldstein. Oh, well, that was a clear right-away infringement. But on that note, it has to be said, and it's been a very, very fair and open game. Very little in the form of whistling from the umpires. Bellini clearly not happy with the umpire's decision. Having a little word with our 2 Hawaiian umpires, Kimo and Kaina. And it would appear, as I thought it might be the case, a hit from the centre, so-called penalty 5B, or thereabouts. And it'll be taken by Mr. Campson very quickly. Campson, now then, just gives it a moment or two for his attacking players to get in situ. And who's going to get to that ball first? It was a little bit too far for both Hernandez and Giedicke to pick up on. Bellini coming back in defence. Bellini. Out to the left-hand side this time. And he's found Melissa Ganzi. And she's had a cracking game here so far this morning. Again, Melissa Ganzi. Oh, she hit that beautifully. Has a little look over her shoulder. Ganzi now. Melissa on the approach. Needs to just slightly open the wrist a little bit to get the ball centred. That's a good run. A little under the neck from Ganzi. Oh, she was so close. Mark Ganzi just, of course, as a good husband should, backing up his wife, and Bellini puts the finishing touches to that play and gets the first for his team in this game. And that puts them back in the lead by 6 goals to 5. 5 minutes left to play in chukker number 4. So far, Gene Goldstein, the man with the highest number of goals in this game, scoring twice in the second, 1 in the third. Melissa Ganzi close behind with 2, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and also Esteban Hernandez with 2 goals in chukker number 3. Moritz Giedicke, the last man, also with 2 to his name. And once again, nicely played there by Ganzi. Round the outside she goes. Plenty of space. Topped that ever so slightly. Campson, he's got 2 to choose from. Hernandez in the centre. And also Firestone, but coming back very quickly in defence. The Cobra. Hernandez, where is his support? He's looking for Oliver Firestone, but beaten to it there, as you can see. Juan Bellini Plays it back into the open space, does a little pirouette. Oh, cheeky little steal, but already established on the line was Bellini. Esteban Hernandez thought he'd have a little crack at that, but the umpires clearly not amused. And again, we have another one of those centre hits, a hit from the centre, the old penalty 5B, or not to be, in favour of Aspen Valley Polo Club. And it would appear that maybe Ganzi, or would he leave it behind for Bellini? Play is called. Bellini, also a very, very strong hitter. Just taps it in a little bit. He'll be looking to maybe send it back. I think Mark Ganzi, he wants it back. There's the long drive over all of the heads. It lands, and what a goal, ladies and gentlemen. Juan Bellini, goal number 2 for that young man. And that restores that 2-goal cushion. 7 goals to 5 with 3.5 minutes left to play in chukker number 4. Well, I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Beautiful goal coming from the All-American Juan Bellini. So, 2 goals now for him, but still Gene Goldstein leading the goal scoring tally. And speaking of that man, this could be goal number 4. Goldstein centres it. Goldstein on the approach. Just one little shot is all it's going to take, and I think he's done it. Or has he? Yes, indeed. Goal number 4 for Gene Goldstein, who will be over the moon with his performance here this morning. 8 goals to 5, 2:43 on the clock, and once again that 3-goal cushion restored by Aspen Valley Polo Club here in the 4th chukker. So all that hard work coming from Palm City Polo Club in the 3rd chukker especially, all in vain. Aspen Valley just turning on the heat again. We're down to 2:22 left to play in chukker number 4 as they line up in the centre. Ball's about to be released. Here we go. Now who's going to pick it up? And it seems at this time in the second half, Aspen Valley winning all of the throw-ins. Goldstein controls it nicely. Still Goldstein has to concede. In comes Campson. Campson with an under-the-neck shot. He was looking there for his number 4, Esteban Hernandez. The Cobra on a slightly bouncy pony tried to control it. He gets the support that he wanted, and a nice pass into his run from Bellini. Now then, the Cobra out in front. And he's up against Moritz Giedicke, the last man in defence. Around the outside he goes, but I think that ball will just trickle over the back line. So 1 minute and 24 left to play. And what a cracking game this is turning out to be. The National President's Cup 2019 8-goal. And there have been moments here where I'm sure you'll agree with me, viewers watching around the world. And it's been slightly higher than the 8-goal. The Cobra slams on the brakes here. He knows he's got a man on. A little backhand. Bellini tried to extend it. And now Moritz Giedicke. Giedicke told to leave it by Campson. Campson will send it back. A daisy cutter out to the left-hand side, but he's got Bellini coming in for the challenge. Giedicke, what's he going to pull out of the bag here? Round the outside he goes. This is great play from the young German. And a little under the neck just to finish it. Or... well, there it came. He went for the under the neck, didn't quite make the contact he was hoping for. Campson turns on a sixpence, slams on the brakes, wants to tee the ball up nicely. Giedicke coming back into the game, and Campson, ladies and gentlemen, making it look so easy. Claws one back. Indeed, a round of applause. Much appreciated. 8 goals to 6, and Chris Campson getting his first of this game. There'll be a quick pony change, and we'll be back for the penultimate and final chukker in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
At the time the taqueria began in 1975, our goals were simple: to provide service, which we did fieldside with our first trailer, quality, and those hard-to-find Polo specialty items. We searched the globe to bring back the best equipment possible for Polo players by Polo players.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Fifth and penultimate chukker. 2 goals in it after Chris Campson put a little break onto Aspen Valley Polo Club, who started to run away with things. Gene Goldstein now leading the goal-scoring tally with 4 goals to his name. Melissa Ganzi, Juan Bellini, Esteban Hernandez, and Morris Gadeker, all of them having scored 2 so far in this game. And here we go then. 2 more chukkers ahead. 2 little goals in it, all to play for to get their hands on the beautiful National President's Cup 2019. Good luck, gentlemen, and of course, good luck. The only lady out on the field there, Melissa Ganzi, as I say, already 2 goals to her name. She'll be looking to get her hat-trick as the umpire calls the players to line up to get the penultimate 5th chukker underway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as they line up here and the throw-in coming very close to where I'm standing, it would appear that very good spirits there from both teams out on the field, enjoying themselves. And there's going to be a call on the near side backhand, and it came exactly as Mr. Campson requested from Mr. Oliver Firestone. In comes Bellini for a challenge. Campson and Bellini battling it out there on the sideboards, and there's the pass. Oh, that was supposed to go just aside Melissa Ganzi, and now it'll open backhand once again coming from Mr. Campson. Goldstein leaves it now for the Cobra. Ganzi still in control, plenty of space, but he's going to have to get past and around Mr. Campson. Still Ganzi, and that one will just run out of field. So 6.5 minutes left to play, 5th chukker. Campson wasting no time, getting things underway. A little bit short. Bellini will pick that one up. Now remember, he scored more or less from that distance earlier on in the game. Sends the ball back now to Melissa Ganzi, but I think that one will also see the back of the field, just crossing the line over there. Campson, of course, coming back in defence to stay close to Melissa, who scored, as I say, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Campson now. Plenty of space. There's one of those Campson specials. And it's a good pick up there on the run by Esteban Hernandez. Bellini slams on the brakes, will tee it up Well, cutting on the inside, has a little look. He's got Melissa out to his left. There's the shot, coming exactly as I suggested, to the left, and that's a perfect pass. Melissa now on the approach, just needs to tee it up nicely. Good first touch from her. Can she finish it? A chance maybe there from Mr. Goldstein to finish. Oh, so close. Campbell, I think it was, who cleared it. And here they go. Firestone. Just beaten to it by the Cobra. Oh, and this could be a break here for the boys in yellow. Mr. Campson picking up this one. Still Chris Campson. He might score from there. Well, he's going to have to. Here comes the shot to goal. And Mark will just watch that one trickle over the back line. With plenty of time yet to play in chukker number 5. Aspen Valley once again in possession. Juan Bellini. Taps the ball back into play. Bellini. A little bit short. Campson puts a stop to that. Right in the middle where all the traffic is. He's got a man out to the left, Esteban Hernandez, but Campson might drill this one himself. Wanted to feed the ball back to Esteban. It just goes out to the left-hand side. So with 4 minutes left on the clock, still no score in chukker number 5. And so far we've only had really one chukker, and that was chukker number 2, where we had no score from Palm City Polo Club. Aspen Valley scoring once only. Gene Goldstein there getting his 3rd of the game. And now Ganzi. Oh, he's out on his own. Ganzi with a perfect pass out to the right-hand side, looking for Gene Goldstein. With him now, the young German from Berlin, Moritz Gedeke. Again, Goldstein. Gedeke just in time got a piece of it, but he didn't think and didn't know that the Cobra, he was there as well, and that is another beautiful goal by the Cobra. Mark Ganzi, let's have a little look. Mark Ganzi so far having scored, well, that's his first one of the game. And that puts them back with 3 minutes left on the clock. A 3-goal cushion in chukker number 5. Ball's about to be thrown back into play, and of course it's so important, even at this level, to try and gain possession from the throw-in. Gedeke got a piece of it. In comes Campson. A little appeal there from the Cobra, and now Esteban Hernandez looking for goal number 3. Slightly topped that on the first touch. Bellini will come in and pick it up, take the pace out of the game, turns it nice and beautifully on the spot. There's the cut shot, looking for Goldstein. He topped it slightly. It's going to land exactly where Melissa wanted it, and she'll run away with this one. Give her half a chance. Bellini sends it back to the front. This time he feeds the ball to the Cobra. Ganzi with a cut shot attempt. And Gedeke, elegantly done, a little under the neck, takes the ball out of the danger zone as it bounces off the sideboards on the far side. Cobra, Mark Ganzi with a head-to-head there. Eventually the ball comes out in favour of the team in yellow, Palm City Polo Club. And that's a good drive there from Campson. And Esteban Hernandez, plenty of space, all the time in the world now. Just needs to check up nicely. Esteban, has he overshot it? A little flick of the wrist. Oh, yes, that was well done indeed. Esteban Hernandez coming back and getting his 3rd of the game. 2 he scored in chukker number 3, and now his 3rd in the 5th chukker with 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. So they're back down to just 2 goals, 9 goals to 7 as they come back to the centre for another throw-in. Temperatures now also, as we approach midday here in Wellington, Florida, Grand Champions Polo Club. Field number 3 getting a little bit warmer and a little bit hotter. 1 minute left to play in chukker number 5. Melissa Ganzi winning that throw-in. And a nice first and a nice second touch from her. A little cut shot maybe. She's got Gene Goldstein at the front, just hovering. There's the cut shot. That's a perfect pass from Ganzi, feeding the ball to Gene Goldstein. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, elegance and motion. Goal number 5 for Mr. Goldstein there. He will be happy with his performance. And that puts Aspen Valley Polo Club into double figures. You've heard the sign. Let's have a round of applause for both teams. 10 goals to 7. One more chukker coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Capo.
Any news?
Tutto bene.
See?
No, no.
Juan?
No sé. No, he's sleeping.
You ready, guys? Up on the bus, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome back, and a very good, I can now nearly say good afternoon. We're 3 minutes away from midday. Perfect conditions for the ponies, and we have really seen a cracking game. And ladies and gentlemen, that young man, Gene Goldstein, leading the goal-scoring tally now with 5 goals to his name. I'm sure he will be delighted with his performance, as will the rest of his teammates. So it's going to come down to what we call in the trade the nitty-gritty, the 6th and final chukker. Come on, Palm City Polo Club. You've got 7.5 minutes to try and turn this thing around. Best of luck to Esteban Hernandez, Oliver Firestone, Chris Campson and Moritz Giedeker. And of course the same applies to Aspen Valley Polo Club. Let's see if they can get this over the finishing line, leading comfortably with 10 goals to 7 as they go into the 6th and final chukker. And that's a nice little open backhand, looking for Esteban Hernandez with a cut shot. Nicely picked up there by Firestone. Oliver Firestone would like to get a shot off on goal. He was a little bit too far out there from where that ball landed. He's going to get a second chance. Unfortunately, I think there might have been a little deflection coming off the pony. Ball just goes wide as we enter the 6 minute and 54 second mark of the 6th and final chukker. Bellini tried to send the ball out to his left-hand side, ran into a little bit of traffic. Nice little open backhand. Campson just beaten to it once again by, well, so far, I'm sure it's fair to say, man of the match with a nice, perfect pass. And the Cobra, he'll get his fangs into this one, I'm sure. Campson coming back to try and shut him down. Nice little pick up there attempt also by Gene Goldstein. And now Palm City. Still a lot of work to do. That's a nice drive from Campson. Bellini can't do much with it. There's the shot up to the front now. Then Esteban Hernandez. He knows he's got a man on and he's got to center the ball. Top the first shot. Ganzi now also coming back in defense just to help his teammate Juan Bellini. He turns things around and that'll be the pass towards the halfway line. Goldstein. Nicely taken, but he's got to get past Kamsen, and Kamsen will appeal. No, he won't. Goldstein, good control from him. He was hoping that Ganzi was going to be there behind. Instead, it is Melissa, and she's had a cracking game here this morning, and as I say, this afternoon, as we go into the post-meridian part of the day. Bellini. Maybe on the near side. No, he won't get to it. Melissa Ganzi. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what a cracking goal. And she gets her hat-trick. The third for Melissa Ganzi, scoring 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and now the first goal of chukker number 6 here for Aspen Valley Polo Club. 11 goals to 7, and I think that's the first time we've had a 4-goal cushion in this match, playing for the National President's Cup 2019. And that was a great little play there. And Melissa just made no mistake putting that ball exactly where it was supposed to go between the uprights. 4:44 on the clock, left to play. And Moritz Giedeker, would be nice to see him get his hat-trick of the game. Giedeker slightly topped it. He's going to get another chance. Moritz Giedeker, the man from Berlin. Those famous words from Mr. Kennedy when he visited Berlin back in, I think it was 1966. Ich bin ein Berliner. I am a Berliner. And that ball just going over the back line there. He scored 1 in the first and 1 in the third, did Moritz Giedeker. Kamsen so far only 1 to his name in chukker number 4. Oliver Firestone again with 1 goal in chukker number 3. Well, that is a very, very unfamiliar sound, a whistle. And even a man coming off his pony. Looks like Mr. Kamsen has a little issue there with his tack. So we have a little break with 4:03 left on the clock. Oh, he's back on the saddle very quickly. On the far side, Esteban Hernandez. He might go for a flying pony change. Well, he's deciding to do the old-fashioned style. Nicely dismounted to get on a fresh pair of legs. Looks like a very nice Palomino pony there on the far side as they wait. And as I say, we will of course be conducting the prize presentation. Once again, delighted to welcome no stranger, of course, to Grand Champions Polo Club, Brenda Dupont, pronounced there in my best French accent. We'll be presenting the prizes as we just wait now for Esteban Hernandez to come back out onto the field to finish off the 4 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in chukker number 6. Bellini gets things underway. Out to his right-hand side, but there's no one there. It's a bit short. Picked up nicely on the near side by Kamsen. Kamsen now, this could be a phase of power play coming to you from Palm City Polo Club. They find themselves deep in the half of Aspen Valley. But Aspen Valley not only scoring very much and very well up at front, but also doing a very good job back in defence. And that could be another little cheeky goal there coming to you from Chris Kamsen, getting his second of the afternoon. 11 goals to 8. But of course, they're now playing against the clock as well as a very strong Aspen Valley Polo Club. Plenty of time, 3:24 and 3 goals needed. Kamsen there getting his second of the game. Here we go. Words of motivation there coming from the teammates for Palm City Polo Club. But Gene Goldstein, he's looking for goal number 6. Bellini will send it back up to the front. Goldstein, he's up against Kamsen. Can he beat him? Goldstein gets his mallet down. And there is goal number 6. Well, the crowd really liking that one, ladies and gentlemen. The 6th goal, so a double hat-trick here for Gene Goldstein, having scored in every single chukker, twice in the second. The only chukker he didn't score was the first. But with 6 goals, I'm sure he won't be too bothered. That's a great performance with 2.5 minutes left to play in this game. 12 goals to 8, and there is a restore of that 4-goal advantage. Come on, yellow. There's still, I'm sure, a little bit of power in those legs. And ball's thrown back into play. Landing at the feet there of Giedicke. Hernandez. Firestone, again Hernandez, picked up by Kamsen. Kamsen's got the support from Giedicke. And Kamsen might decide to send this one all the way to the front. Oh, it had a bit of a deflection coming off the pony there of Oliver Firestone. But the danger isn't over yet. Kamsen gets another chance, and he will just walk this one through, ladies and gentlemen. Goal number 3 for Mr. Kamsen. 12 goals to 9. Would be nice to see Palm City also making it into double figures with a minute and a half left to play in chukker number 6. Well, indeed, I can hear some of the fans suggesting they want a 7th final Southern Death golden goal. You never know. Conditions are perfect. Here we go. Ball's back in play. Giedicke. He's got Bellini on him. Kamsen. He will send Firestone on his way. That's a great pass. Now then, Oliver Firestone to get his team into double figures with the last minute. Oh, he slightly overcooked it, just ever so slightly. Ball still in play. Oh, I thought it had gone over the back line. And Bellini, he will clear it. Sends it back to Ganzi. Mark Ganzi. He will try and run with this. We're down to the last 2 seconds before we hear the siren. Ganzi to make it a lucky 13 for some. Ganzi, all the time in the world. Mark Ganzi, the Cobra, with a cut shot. Oh, he's gone wide. It's gone wide. So that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a round of applause. 12 goals to 9 is the final score. And I'd like to ask you to congratulate with me, of course, Aspen Valley Polo Club. Jean Goldstein there with 6 goals to his name. Melissa Ganzi with 3 to her name. Mark Ganzi nearly with 2 as well. He scored 1 in the 5th. And Juan Bellini with 2 goals as well. Palm City Polo Club thought it looked like they were going to come back at one point. Esteban Hernandez with 3 goals. Oliver Firestone with 2. Chris Kamsen got his hat-trick. And also the man from Berlin, Germany with 2 goals. That will be all they wrote in this final. They're going to have a little rest. They'll be down back here for the prize presentation, as I say, conducted by Brenda Dupont. So if you're watching around on ChukkerTV, stay tuned. We'll be back with the prize presentation when the players come back in just a few moments. Stay tuned. whatever you want. Do grab that.
Do the grand champions first.
Brenda, you can go with them. 1-2. Live, Gus. And as I said earlier on, delighted on this Easter Saturday to welcome Brenda Dupont. Thank you very much. And here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Champions Best Playing Pony of the National President's Cup 2019. Tinder, as you can see there, ridden by Oliver Firestone in the third chukker. Tinder, a 5-year-old American thoroughbred. And of course, a big thank you also to the groom, Sylvia Firestone. What a great pony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the USPA, the United States Polo Association Best Playing Pony. Here she is, a beautiful Palomina by the name of Polo, ridden by Esteban Hernandez in the fourth chukker. And of course, a big thank you to the groom, Mr. Franklin. Right then, ladies and gentlemen. Now then, Brenda, you're up there where we need you. Perfect. And I think before we start, ladies and gentlemen, we saw a cracking game. Can I ask you all, please, to first of all give us a big round of applause for both teams playing the National President's Cup 2019 here at Grand Champions Polo Club. We are going to start, of course, with the runners-up, ladies and gentlemen. And Brenda, you're ready. Let's give a big round of applause for that tall man. That is Mr. Chris Campson, scoring 3 goals, 1 in the fourth and 2 in the sixth chukker. Well done, Chris. At number 2, he had a cracking game here this afternoon. Give it up for Oliver Firestone, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Oliver. And then, of course, all the way from Berlin, Germany, scoring 2 great goals. 1 in the first, 1 in the third. There is only one, Moritz Giedeker. And then the man also with 3 goals to his name, ladies and gentlemen, the number 4 position. Give it up for Esteban Hernandez. And now, Brenda, over to the winners. The winners of the National President's Cup 2019, ladies and gentlemen. We are, of course, going to start with the only lady who played here this afternoon. 3 goals to her name. Let's give it up for Melissa Ganzi. And then back to the number 1 position with 6 goals to his name. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Gene Goldstein. And, of course, the man with the number 3, the Cobra, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one, Mark Ganzi. And then, of course, last but by no means least, he scored that amazing goal earlier on, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mr. Juan Bellini. Well, we have one more. We do have one more very, very special prize to give, courtesy of our friends from Katina Watches, ladies and gentlemen. The MVP, the most valuable player of the National President's Cup 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Gene Goldstein. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the action on ChukkerTV. Remember to tune in for our next game. Thank you very much to Palm City Polo Club. Great watching you guys. And thank you to Brenda Dupont from the Polo Museum and Hall of Fame for helping us out with the prize presentation. And I now leave you with the champions of the National President's Cup 2019. Give it up for Aspen Valley Polo Club.